I've definitely had my fair share of self-abuse and self-loathing with abusing substances or whatever, but yeah, that's not a good route to take. That you'll find yourself nowhere fast. And it makes it a lot harder to get out of bed next morning or whatever gutter or manhole you're laying next to. It's like, it's, it's a lot harder ladder to climb after that.
Did it look sketchy or what?
The biggest thing, I think a lot of what happened with Flip, I think a lot with Arto, was the deal with Shane. And I just think that that whole thing was a fucking tremendous blow, and what happened, you know, it just really fucked him up. You know, I think in anything like that with death, it's the fuck thing, you know, so a lot of people probably didn't properly handle it right, and I think a lot of just shit happened with that, with Arto, and I think at that time he just had made the decision of like, I'm gonna get out of here, I'm done.
We didn't really know how to deal with that. Things just got rowdy and people started lashing out on each other and this and that and kind of blaming people, and it didn't really hit me until months later. Like it didn't, like we went to Shane's funeral, everyone was there, and it was like one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Like there's like 250 skateboarders around the world and close friends and family all together there, and why couldn't it have been just like everyone there, just like Shane's Skater of the Year party or something, you know? Why did it have to be a funeral? You know, it sucked. It sucked.
There was a lot of tough stuff going on with Shane passing away and Ali in a coma and us all drinking a lot. And that kind of caught up to everybody. It was important that everybody stayed healthy and that everybody stayed being friends. And from my side, that's kind of what happened. Really, nothing more, nothing less. All the details, they don't matter. But that was the point. The point was, hey, this is the right thing right now. And we all knew it.
It wasn't like an easy thing to do, but at the time I knew I had to do it for the reasons that happened, you know. And that's where I decided that it's better off for me to leave Flip and just go my own way and just do that.
What made you choose Alien?
That kind of happened naturally. I was skating with Dylan and Omar a lot. You know, those dudes were giving me shit. It was like, fucking Flip, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I was like, why do you write for Alien? Just jokingly, you know? Just joking around. It's like, fuck, you should come on a trip with us and skate with us and da-da-da. And like, yeah, whatever, right. Like, you know, never took it serious. Like, I just laugh about it. But then as like a couple of years went on, it's just kind of like, I was getting so tormented in my own head. I was like, well, I wonder if that would fucking actually work.
When he got on Alien, I don't think quite everybody knew that he was getting on Alien. It wasn't really like a team decision. With a company like Workshop, I don't think that happens very often, but that's how it happened this time. I don't remember anyone being upset. I mean, it's Arto, so I think everyone was pretty stoked.
You know, I think any skateboarder who grew up in that time period, like, you know, if Arto really looked at Alien Workshop, was like, wow, it's a really fucking cool company, and like, if he had the opportunity to do it, like, he'd probably jump at it. And then the opportunity came. Arto came on, and he really like fit perfectly with being in the van and going and filming. Like, he loved all that stuff. Like, he was such a big part of it.
What stuff did you film?
You know, off the top of my head, the main thing's the back lip at Frost. It was pretty insane. I mean, I really can't think of many other people that could backlip that rail, or any double kink rail for that matter, you know? He knows how to like get in it and test it and then like work his way up to it. I think that's kind of what makes someone like Arto, I don't really think it even took him that long.
Whoa! Holy shit! Fuck yeah! Woo! Arto, you own this spot, man. Hey, I'm gonna go in and get your little hands print. Stop right there. First pro skater with a fucking Hollywood stamp at the spot. Arto, fuck yeah!
He's just so damn good. He's always been so good at skateboarding. And I mean, I remember the times being in the van with him, and I thought, fuck, this kid's really doing it, you know?
Is there any clips in the minefield that you can see, like flipboards?
Oh, yeah, a ton of it. I think like the first line is blatant flipboard, and then there's just like Arto super into mustard. So there's like this mustard graphic he had. It's like this finished mustard. And that's like what he was writing through a lot of filming the flip stuff that ended up in Minefield. So he's got this mustard board for like a lot of his Minefield part.
You can't CGI that out.
No one, who cares?
I mean, I was like actually completely shocked when he left Flip. Who did he write for?
Alien.
Alien. I forgot. Thought maybe it was Habitat for a second. I was shocked when he left Flip for Habitat. Even I mean, I just fucked it up again. I was shocked when he left Flip for Alien. I still don't understand. I mean, obviously I don't understand it to the point where he got back on. So it didn't make sense.
Riding for Alien was great. Like, there wasn't any bad vibes or anything. I really liked the company. I really liked everyone involved in it, and I became friends with everyone. And when you go to quit a company like that, you fucking want to blow your brains out, you know? I only spoke to Carter, and that's probably like one of the hardest calls I had to make, and just talk to him, and he was like, well, fuck, man. It's a bummer, but he's like, you gotta do what you gotta do. I basically just couldn't be away from Flip.
You know, I think then all of a sudden he started feeling guilty because he left Jeff and he left guys that, you know, in his mind made him who he was. And I think then all of a sudden that started eating at his head, and then he felt guilty, and I think ultimately was like, hey, you know what, I gotta do what's right. And for me, I think it's going back to Flip, you know, and I think purely that's what it was. That was his first alien board, him being abducted. And then that's where he went back to Flip and became Arto.
I went up and saw him with Jeff one day because it seemed like he really, well, I could tell, we could all tell that he wanted to be back on the team. Arto's not a very pushy person at all. He's never the guy who will ask for anything. And I just said to Jeff one day, we need to drive up there and just put him back on the team. Make him put himself back on, because otherwise this is never going to happen. Maybe he'd grown up and realized that it might be a little bit dysfunctional family, but it's my family.
I never once would say, hey, you should come and ride for us again. It wasn't like that. It was like, it came from Arto, you know, saying that like, this is where he belonged, kind of thing. And
How did he tell you?
Well, we've known each other long enough to know when you're hanging out with someone that, hey, like, okay, he's ready now.
It was a pretty unspoken thing. It wasn't until the last minute that it was like, you want to get back on? I was like, yeah. We probably didn't talk for a year or two. There was a vibe. That's how I grew up skating. That's the guys who brought me up, backed me up. And I was like, you know what? I gotta get back on.
There's no way I'm doing it again. Oh.